we'll be talking about all the spooky and fear inducing games and announcements in the Silent Hill Transmission Showcase, the new eerie but beautiful gameplay and trailers shown for Resident Evil 4 Remake and the Resident Evil Showcase, Platinum asking fans to stop disrespecting Jennifer Hale as the new Bayonetta 3 voice actor, Final Fantasy 16 goes full Crystal Game of Thrones in their latest trailer called Ambition, Apex Legend releases their new trans hero, how much the PS5 DualSense Edge will cost, and if it will really be worth it. Game impressions for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 story campaign, Plague Tale Requiem, Marvel Snap, Valorant, and more on Season 6, Episode 41 of Press X to Start podcast. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Gas with the Gas. I am joined by
On MF Ross.
what the MF stand for?
Bring back the old ghost. I hate this new dude, bro, with this Halloween mask. F him.
Oh my gosh, it is funny. It's hilarious to look at. We'll get
I'm not
into
letting it
more
go.
later. And then last up,
Hey everyone, it's me, Avery.
nailed it. All right, now you know who we are. Press X Start Podcast is a weekly show where we talk about the latest game news, review the biggest games, and give you our thoughts on the games we are playing. Our goal is to expand the video game media landscape through an underserved and protected. Oh, geez. Oh, that was a shot from the past. Through an underserved point of view. If you like what we do and you're watching on YouTube, you can support us by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell. If you are listening, we would appreciate you leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or the podcast service you are tuned in on. If you want to join the conversation, you can join on our Discord at pressx2start.com/discord. I paused there for a second because I wanted to give a special shout out to Depot, who has joined our conversation. So, listener, what's your excuse? I didn't hear one, so make sure you join it. Do it. All right. We have a lot going on today, so we're not even going to do the review the review and stuff. So we got the reviews. Check the reviews out. Become one of the cool people that leave a review, and then we'll read your review. Do it. You already know what it is. All right. With that being said, let us jump into the games we have been playing. And boy, have we been playing some games. First up, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 story campaign has dropped early for the people who have pre-ordered the game. And Sean and myself have pre-ordered the game and played the story campaign. So here we are. Sean, what was your, I guess, spoiler-free impressions of, well, have you beat the campaign yet?
I am, I feel like I'm very close, but
Yeah.
you know how they just like to, you're almost there and then twist and
Yeah.
here's 3 more hours. So,
Right.
I feel like I'm getting there.
Okay.
I've been playing it a lot. I streamed the first 2 hours roughly on YouTube for those who caught it.
It's on our channel, so check it out.
It is a very solid entry, just like what was it 2019 Modern Warfare?
This is a sequel from that versus
correct.
versus like a remake from the first Modern Warfare 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It is a very solid entry if you're at all interested in Call of Duty campaigns, which I feel like they always usually hit the mark. So
They do, yeah.
Even if I did not like the multiplayer each year, the campaign was fairly entertaining, and I feel like this gives you a lot of diverse things to do. Granted, we've done them all before. I mean, you're just shooting a gun. You're up in the AC-130. You're up, you're in the water, whatever. But the way they implement it, it just feels very engaging. There's not one moment where I was just like, I could be playing something else, but I'm just playing this just to get through it. You know what I mean? No, I'm actually legit enjoying it, and check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm on the exact same line as Sean with this. The different things they give you to do in this game just every new, I guess they don't call it chapters. Like every new mission, I'm just like, okay,
Oh,
this is cool.
oh.
I am surfing on a truck right now, shooting people. Like this is awesome. Like I'm flying this like gunner ship. This is cool. Like I'm doing a stealth mission. This is awesome. Like every time I'm just like, okay, I'm having such a great time playing this game. Like the thing is, like Call of Duty campaigns sit in a very weird space in my head where I'm always surprised every time by how much fun I'm having with the campaign
Yeah,
because I play the campaign, I'm over the campaign, and I just play multiplayer, and then my memory becomes of the multiplayer, not necessarily of the story campaigns, unless like something crazy happens, which
yeah. Like the
usually they
first,
have
like the
that.
first couple ones that came out.
Exactly, exactly. So for this, I was like, okay, I'll sit and try this out. And then the first mission where actually I'm gonna just I'm gonna start that up real quick. But yeah, the first mission where it is at nighttime and
Yeah,
you're playing all of it through like night vision and stuff, and it's like this not only looks amazingly beautiful, but
yeah.
also terrifying in a
Mm.
way of like this is so realistic. So that's another thing I want to talk about. For me, I think the last game I said was like the best looking game was Horizon Forbidden
Mhm,
West for me,
mhm.
and I
Yeah, no,
think
this
this,
surpasses it.
yeah, like this
That's
surpasses it in terms of how realistic everything looks and the fact that they they will put characters in your face and they're like, "Hey, look, we're confident about this shot so much that we will do a zoom on this person's face." Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, holy crap, like this looks really, really good. Like there was a point where I was playing and Shreen was watching and Shreen was like, "Wait,
Is that a movie?
what is this?" Yeah, and she was just like, "Is this the movie?" I'm like, "This is Call of Duty." She's like, "This is Call of Duty? Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, this game looks insane." And it's like I can totally see why they had like 58 studios work on this game.
Damn.
And like it's not 58 studios. I totally made that number up, but it's probably like 57 or something. But like like it makes sense. And I'm just like, I'm in a weird position because Activision sucks as a company, but goddamn, this game is great.
As with, Jennifer Hale, hey, a lot of people worked on this, man. Don't
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where it gets weird because it's like for me, like this is this becomes what do you call it? Like the American military complex like fantasy right here because it's
Yeah.
just
Oh,
you're
yeah.
using all this crazy tech and the enemies you're fighting aren't well, for most part, they're not anywhere at your level. So you feel like a superhero when you're like, pull out a heartbeat sensor. Okay, these are 5 people here. Let me pull out this vent, throw tear gas down, and then have them run out. And then my person on the hill like snipes them. It's like this is insane. And they give you so much options to like
How to approach your
progress the
mission.
mission. Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, like I cannot wait until more people play this game because I see that, like, on YouTube, not a lot of people are talking about this right now, I guess because it is early campaign and people aren't they didn't really pre-order this because it's like, "Well, it's a campaign, so we'll just kinda see how it goes before
I think
buying
my
it," which
only complaint is, the line between realism and fun in a video game. It is hard to see a lot of the enemies in this game a lot of times.
yeah, yeah. Last
And
night I was playing okay,
mhm.
continue. I didn't realize
No, I was
that.
gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
I understand in real life, you're not gonna see the enemy hiding in the ghillie suit in the grass or in a tree line or
Yeah,
whatever. I get that. You still gotta balance realism with fun in video games.
yeah, yeah. Like, last night I was playing a mission, near the end of it, I had to reach a church and I played that scene so many times that I was just like, "All right, fuck it. I'm dropping the difficulty. Like I'm running through this because I just cannot be like." And the thing is, like, you're supposed to stealth it, and it's like, "All right, I get that," but I don't feel like spending the time to like wait for people to walk by and like throw bottles and stuff. And it's like, I don't. And yeah, I'm saying all this stuff, throw bottles and stealthing because there is a new
The Last
mechanic
of
that they
Us
put.
section.
Yo, and I'm just like, because like when you said it, I was just like, oh,
The
okay, that
fuck
should
is he
be
talking
interesting,
about?
bro. That whole thing was so stressed. Like it was so stressful. I'm just like,
They got
oh
you
my god.
collecting bleach and metal and bindings, Avery, and bottles to throw, and you're making
Yeah.
Molotovs and little bottles. Like this is The Last of Us.
Like I'm not gonna ruin it, but there is a part where you are in a house. It is pitch black. You have a headlight on your head, and like that's the only way you can see through. And the only thing you hear is soldiers outside like talking, and then you hear like a knock on a door, and you're just like, what the hell? Like
Mm.
Mm, mm. Yeah, this game it's I
It's
think when it
solid.
comes to the game yeah, when it comes to the game of year discussion, like this is going to be very, very interesting where it places because I think this is gonna surprise a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
although it's Call of Duty and like 68 studios worked on it, so like it's kind of weird that it's gonna
Anyway.
surprise people. But
Anyway.
yeah, that was Call of Duty.
What do you
Avery.
mean?
Huh?
Go ahead.
What?
No, DJ, what do you mean by surprise? Like, are you talking about our game of the year, or are you talking about game of the year at in?
In general, I think
In
Oh,
general, in
oh, okay,
general.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the
because
campaign
I
is
think
very, very solid this year.
yeah, I think a lot of people respects Call of Duty, but they don't necessarily look at Call of Duty in the way that I think that Call of Duty is trying to garner the attention this year, at least.
This didn't
Again,
make me say what the fuck like Cold War, where they had me pick my character, race, face, and all, and then I turn out to be an undercover Russian spy. What? How am I a black man as an undercover Russian spy infiltrating the? What? Drake?
oh man.
Whatever, man. Continue.
All right, so Avery, you have been playing a Plague's Tale. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? I incorporated the title of the game with the things that I was Requiem. There you go. All right, what's up, Avery? What's going on?
okay. So as of last night, so people listening to this, as of a week ago, I beat a Plague Tale.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
snaps. Whoa,
Uh,
didn't expect that.
how long have we been friends? You not expect me to beat?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
I
right.
mean, I did, but I didn't. Wait, how long has it been out? Oh, it's been out a couple
It's
days.
been out
I
since
guess.
last Tuesday.
Oh, I thought that released this week.
I thought it came out the 18th.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's more in line. Okay. So,
Yeah.
what's
He,
your thoughts
he
on it?
probably did
Like
the New Zealand trick to play it early.
the New Zealand trick? Is there a New Zealand trick that I don't know about?
If I'm guessing, if you trick your PlayStation to think that you live in New Zealand, so theoretically, it's
You can play
midnight
it early.
release. It will allow you to to play it early.
Oh, that's pretty smart. That's actually really smart. Oh, okay. So, what are your thoughts on it, Avery? Like, how did you like the game? You like it more than the first one?
Yes, I think this is a fantastic game and a fantastic sequel to what I think is one of the most underrated games of the last generation.
Mm.
I'm gonna be a hipster about this because no, like I was caping for a Plague Tale Innocence since that game came out. I was like, hey everyone, if you like X, Y, and Z game, check out a Plague Tale. No one did it, so I was super surprised when they got a sequel. People are gonna say, oh, but they got. I played it when it came on a free
I did.
service, and I got to play it for free. And I'm like, that's great, and I'm glad you played it. I'm glad you played it, but like, I was
I
like,
don't think we were talking when it came out originally because I had never heard it again.
there are dozens of texts I've sent to Marcus specifically about a Plague Tale Innocence. Like me and
I'm
Marcus,
just saying. I'm
me and
saying me
Marcus,
specifically. I hadn't
Yeah.
heard of it until it came on PS
Yeah.
Plus.
me and Mark. Oh, yeah, that's fair. But me and Marcus have been talking about like games of this genre for like ages, and I played a Plague Tale. And I'm like, fucking you, dude, you need to play this game. So Plague Tale Innocence takes place. Plague Tale Requiem takes place 6 months after a Plague Tale Innocence, in which Amicia and her brother Hugo, her brother love interest Lucas and her mom have all sort of like it's complicated. Sean will remember a Plague Tale with a bunch of like orphans living in an abandoned castle by themselves,
Yeah.
and it was Amicia and like 3 boys who all clearly were into her to various degrees, but like, but like nothing ever came from it, and most of them died. So like this game sort of begins with like her and her and Lucas together, and they spend a lot of time together. And there's nothing romantic about their relationship, but I'm still remembering the last game and how that went. So I'm just like, okay, this is the dynamic we're working with here. It starts off 6 months from there. They've been able to live in peace, but a series of events transpires that forces them on the run to find a cure for Hugo, and what that will transpire. So you get a lot. This game is very deep into the meta lore of the world of the Plague Tale. So you get understanding of what's happening to Hugo and things of that nature. From a from a graphical and fidelity standpoint, they have knocked it out of the park with this game. Like if you told me this was if you told me this was a AA game, I would have laughed at you in your face. This is very much a Kenna situation where like this team put their whole
foot in it.
Foot into like the graphical fidelity of this game that you would be shocked if it's a AA game. It still mechanically feels like a AA game. There's a lot of like mechanical movement stuttering issues in which like sometimes you'll be able to run and then sometimes you get slowed to a crawl for no real foreseeable reason.
Oh.
And like nothing.
A little bit of jank.
Yeah, and it's not in the sense like, there's a sequence where I'm running and I'm like, no, it's like moving around the world casually with no danger. I'm just like, suddenly I'm slowed down by stuff. I'm not a frame rate guy, but the frame rates do fuck up every once in a while, and the game is locked at 30. So like when it drops, it's very noticeable that it drops. But like once again, I'm not a frame rate guy. I think the game's frame rate is fucking fine. In terms of like gameplay, this is very much an evolution. Like the game is put into 3 categories. There's stealth sections where like the game wants you to stealth. There are rat puzzle sections where the game gives you a point A and a point B with a bunch of rats around you, and the game gives you a bunch of tools to get through that rat. And then they have murder simulator where they put rats, people in a exit and tell you the Misa, hey man, have fun doing it. And people complained about Aloy talking.
Yeah.
They have not played a Plague Tale Requiem, where Amicia comes from the Deacon St. John school of expressing herself, where it's just her screaming at the top of her lungs the most insane things, but people actually hear her. And it's like, it's narratively it works, but it's very over the top. Where like Lucas is in the corner saying, Amicia, what are you doing? And she's screaming, they're all die. I'll murder all of them. They're all dogs. So I'm like, okay.
They should have some town folks just turn around like, oh my god.
This is a lot. This is a lot. In terms of the game's narrative, I really love the story and I really love where it went, specifically in the relationship between Hugo and Amicia. I think they're 2 very fantastic characters. And their bonds with the characters they meet along the way, like characters like minor spoilers, Sophia, minor spoilers, The Wall, and like traveling with them and how like the relationships with them blossom, and it sort of how it changes the way Amicia and Hugo sort of interact with the world around them. My only critique in regards to the game's narrative is that this game, unlike a Plague Tale Innocence, this game doesn't really have a villain. In a Plague Tale Innocence, it's like, oh, the Inquisition is the villain. A Plague Tale Requiem, you spend like half the game being like, we're just trying to survive. Then a villain shows up, and then the villain is just kind of the villain. Like, you're introduced to a group, and you're introduced to a person, and the person seems skeevy just by the nature of the way the game works, but like they don't give you any real indication. It's just a tenor. And then a chapter passes where the character does something creepy, but not evil. And then the next time you see this character, they are 100% a full-blown crazy villain, and it absolutely makes no goddamn sense. especially when another character, especially when another character explains, like, this is why this is happening, and like, how did we get to this part? This is insane. But yeah, I really love this game. It's definitely in my top 5 games of the year. It's probably my number 2. It's actually
Ain't come out yet.
It's between it and Horizon for my number 2.
Okay.
I can't
I can see
really
that.
I can't really put one over the other right now. I need time to marinate on
More
this
time, yeah. Yeah.
because like as I've talked about on multiple occasions, when the beginning of the year, Horizon was my game of the year over Elden Ring, and then I let shit mull over, and Horizon dropped down in regards to Elden Ring taking number 1, and now we're at a period where I'm trying to compare these two, but they're very much apples and oranges. So it's me really trying to differentiate how I feel about the game.
Yeah.
I will say the game has an easy trophy list, but it requires you to play the game twice.
Mm.
And a lot of one of the major trophies is fucking bugged, and the game doesn't track it
Oh.
in game. So like, I'm probably going to wait to platinum this game instead of platinuming it like as I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm bad at recommending games because of the way I consume games, but I generally enjoy this game. And if you're a fan of the Plague Tale Innocence, you should definitely check out Requiem.
Okay. That's awesome. It's a glowing recommendation from Avery. All right. Well, before we get into more Avery talking about Valorant, hey, you get out of my car. Sorry, no. If you're watching this and you're having a great time listening to us, we appreciate that, and we thank you for the listens or the watchings because we need it. But you could do something a little bit more. You could like this video. You could hit the subscribe button and then hit that notification bell because we need your support, your activity. We need your clicks. We need your clicks. We need your clicks. So do that. We'll appreciate it. If you are listening, then you can pause this podcast. You can leave a review, and then you can unpause this podcast. Or if you're great at multitasking, you can just listen to the podcast and leave a review at the same time because that would be amazing. You can do that on either Apple Podcast or the podcast service you are using. Apple Podcast. um, yeah, if you do that, if you do both those things, just pat yourself on the back because you are a credit to your yeah, you're a great person. We appreciate that because you're awesome and you want to be awesome. I think that's it I'll ask you to do. All right, cool. Just continue listening. Thanks. All right, Avery. Valorant. What's happening in
I'm gonna keep this
Valorant?
relatively short because this is just a continuation of me ranting about Valorant last week when they announced
Mhm.
Harbor. I got to start playing Harbor now, and I'm big time sad because
Oh no.
Harbor is Harbor's kit is good in theory, and if I had a Valorant team who wanted to execute and like build defaults over what that agent can do, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I have a lot of fun playing this agent, but he's awful on defense. He can't solo hold a site, which is bad, especially for a controller agent. He has really no stopping power to keep people from pushing a site. Uh, on attack, he's really good on executing and he's really good on retakes. But like I said, he's not a solo controller, and like he's a Viper alternative. But like Viper's kit is just so strong that why would you play Viper? Why would you play Harbor over Viper? So we'll see what happens for them to buff this character.
Yeah.
I read an interesting theory from a Valorant coach that when they announced this character, they were going to give all of his abilities like a shield. Like everyone, like his wave, his wall, and his bubble were all going to have a shield. And that at some point, when people heard the rumors and leaks, people freaked out, so they ripped all that shit away from him. And so now he has this weird identity in which he has this one
That
thing that
sucks.
acts as a shield, but it's not that good. Like you really can't like his smoke. He has one of the worst smokes in the game. In that, like if you destroy the shield, which takes like 8 shots with like a 8 shots with a vandal, no, 4 to 8 shots with like one of the main guns, the smoke disappears. So it's not a 15 or 10 second long smoke. It's probably like a 3 to 4 second smoke. So like you're not gonna get any real value using it to actually smoke things, which sucks. So
Mm.
I'm hoping I'm not even know what I'm hoping for in regards to buffing and changing this agent going into the future. But that's me in Harbor right now. That's me playing Valorant, and you won't hear me talk about Valorant until either a new tournament or a new agent is released.
So, about the whole shield thing, were people like complaining that it would make him like OP? Was that the issue or
Well, it's the idea of that it's a wall that you can't shoot out of, can't shoot through. One of the characters in the game I play a lot, Astra, her ultimate creates a giant wall that you can't shoot through. So the
Okay.
idea was that, oh, you're giving Astra's ultimate ability to every ability of a
Oh,
single agent. And
I
like
see.
that might be OP because don't let people tell you different. Astra Wall is fucking OP in regards to like cutting off the sight and like
Yeah, that
and,
makes sense.
and executes. So it's like
Right.
giving it to this agent as an ability, as an part of all of his abilities would be insane.
Okay. Okay. So you agree with that about not giving him the shields, but it just kind of
I
hurts
think you
him in the
either
end.
in his current state with like the fact that he has like probably the least amount of utility out of every character, in that like every one of his abilities is a one-time use ability, and his recharge ability is like 40 has like a 45-second cooldown or some shit. So it's like I if I'm playing Harbor and I use all of my abilities on an execute, like I'm fucked.
Hmm.
How long do you think before they do anything about that? Like I know Overwatch 2 Junker Queen in the beta was ridiculous and then they changed her upon release, or like Apex will get a new character and then like they'll tone it down within
2 to 3 weeks. Actually,
They've
real
only
quick,
they've only they've
wait,
only
before you answer, Avery, before you answer, here's the thing that I had no idea about Overwatch 2, and I'm pretty sure Avery, but Bastion was not in.
yeah him
He
and
took it out because of a
yeah
bug.
yeah him and I think
What?
Torbjorn for a while were just out because of a bug.
Oh, Torbjorn.
Mm.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Apex they've only hotfixed the character once, and that was Seer. For the most part, every other character that they've released super strong. There's
Yeah.
been a long period of time where we didn't see any nerfs or changes to those characters.
Mm,
Like
I
I'm
got
talking
you.
about Horizon release. Horizon at least was like a full-on monster for like I wouldn't say an entire season and a half before they decided, oh, we need to tone down this character. But Valorant is all about balance, and if you make Harbor too strong, he edges out all the other controllers. So, and they already did their big controller patch like I want to say 2 seasons of Valorant ago. So
mm.
I don't think we're going to see any Harbor changes till next year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I feel like that's a waste of development time then if you're gonna introduce a character
I mean,
who it
like when
feels
the
like is
I mean,
useless, as you say.
Yoru was useless for like a full on year when that character was released. Viper was like a full year before the character of Viper, and she was in the game from the beginning with like a character that everyone was like, "Oh, we need to play this character. This character is good." So
Mm,
like they're very much a very slow on the bounces kind of a thing, and it's also something that they tell you way in advance that they're bouncing. So like they're gonna wait a long time to get a lot of play data with Harbor before they make any changes to his kit.
makes sense.
Okay.
Because I will tell you that Chamber, the character who is the current menace of the game, and Astra, who was a menace of the game at her release, took them like a full on year for Astra to change her in any meaningful way so that people could play any other controller. And Chamber is still broken.
Oh damn. Damn. All right. Well, it's back to me, guys. It's back to me. I have been playing a mobile game of sorts called Marvel Snap. It's you've probably seen ads with Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's free to play. That means that there are microtransactions in the game. Um I have spent I've spent probably like 5 hours or so into this game, maybe a little more than that. I I gotta tell you, I'm having a good time in this game. Like I am surprised with because I never played Hearthstone. I was never interested in Hearthstone, or I think there was another card game. Yeah, but yeah, I was never interested in Hearthstone, and I just like this because I know Marvel enough to see these characters and be like, "Oh, cool, it's Venom. Oh, cool, it's Nick Fury.
Mhm.
Oh, cool, it's Storm." Like, I could play this. Um, yeah, I'm having a great time playing this. It's so to describe the game, if you have played Cult of the Lamb and you played that dice game, that's at the one-eyed guy's like shop. That's essentially what this game is. I don't know if there was like a like actual name for it or whatever, but that's essentially what this game is.
Gwent.
So is it? It's not Gwent. No.
No.
I don't know. Back
Yeah,
when
right.
it's
Okay. I was like, Gwent doesn't work like
just-
that. But yeah. So the way that this game works is that you have it's only 6 turns, so it takes about anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes to play a single game, which is perfect. There are three environmental spaces on the board, and each space you can put up to 4 cards there. And uh, the for turn one, the first environmental space will unlock, and it'll tell you what the ability of that space is. So that it might be like on turn 5, all the cards here are destroyed, or um, if you have
You'll
no
get a
cards
damage
here.
boost.
Yeah. It does like a random thing. And then on turn 2, the second space unlocks, and on turn 3, the third space unlocks. So you have to like there's no way of knowing like what's gonna be the type of space. So that's like randomizing. It's like, okay, well, I just kind of have to just adapt to whatever it gives you. And so far from what I've played, there has only been a few repeats, but generally every stage that I've played, there's been a new thing
Mhm.
that's been like, "Oh, okay, I have never had to deal with this before." And it does a really, really good job of changing up the gameplay where you look at your cards that you have and you're like, "Okay, well, this card can work well with this card if I get those in my hand." But then you also have to think about the space and like what's going to happen with the card in the space. So it creates a very interesting and like dynamic feel to the game when you're playing it. Um there's also, and I haven't really experimented with this too much because it seems pretty straightforward. But there's also like once you play enough games, you'll start ranking. Like you'll enter the Iron League, I think, or the Iron rank, and then you start going up from there. Like there's only one mode for this game right now, which is the ladder, which is climbing the ranks. Um, there's another ability where it's called snapping. So once you reach Iron rank, every every game that you play, you're betting like a currency, and that currency will help boost or drop your ranking. If you snap, you will double that rank. So if you feel like you're going to win this, you can snap, and then the person either has to continue playing or they can retreat. So if they retreat, you win.
Laffy Taffy play in the background when you're doing this.
If only. Actually, the music in this game is really good. It's like I usually play all my games on my phone, like in on mute, because I whatever. That's how I just have my phone. But there was one time I just had it on. I was just like, oh wait, this music is actually pretty decent. So I've been playing it with my music now. But yeah, so with the snapping thing, that adds a level to the gameplay where you can bluff your opponent, where it's just like, all right, well, I feel like I'm gonna win this, so I'm gonna snap and go ahead and just bet it. Like, how you gonna react to that? So they might be like, oh wait, hold up. No, I ain't about this. And they can just retreat immediately. So like they do such a good job of adding all these little things to the game where it's just like, oh man, this is just I'm just having a great time playing it. The I'm not gonna say flip side. The only critique that I have to this is I feel like the leveling up is a little, and I understand why they did this. Like you level up the cards by getting currency after every match you play. The
Mhm.
currency you get is, to me, it seems like it's specific to a certain card. So you'll get 10 like level booster things, but for a certain card. So you can't use that XP for any other card. So it's like, all right, I guess I'll just level up this card. When you level up a card, the card goes from a flat card to
They
frame
bust out
rate.
of the actual frame or it turns into
Yeah,
3D.
and then
I
like as
played
it
a little
goes
bit of it.
different, levels, like they like move, and it looks cool. Like that's a really cool thing. And I like that, like, whatever. Visually it looks interesting. But like that's kind of, and then you have, like, different, like, your season pass bar, like, your actual, like, level bar, like, it's a bunch of different stuff because it's a mobile game, like, bars go up, make people happy, like, that's what it is, right? So, I see that and I get it, and I like how that doesn't influence the actual game that you're playing, so it doesn't feel like, if I pay for this thing, then, like, I'm, like, making my
It's
experience a
gonna
lot
get there,
easier.
DJ.
But, I mean, that's the thing, though, because like, I'm 5 hours in, like, there's a possibility of it being like, "Alright, well,
Are
good
you
luck. Now you're gonna fight a lot harder people."
are you currently playing? Is the game currently single player only or multiplayer only?
As far as I know, it's been multiplayer, but the way that they do it, it's very possible that I'm playing bots at times because it's like you're matchmaking, you find a person, you just play that person, and I if I wanted to fake a character, like, if I wanna make a game and, like, fake it, like, this would be a good way of, like, "Yeah, you found a person. That person's a bot. Just have fun playing the game." Like, I don't know. I can't answer that question because like, there's
Mm.
no communication with the person that you're fighting or you're
So there's
playing against
no
or
so there's
anything.
no single player mode in this game. Is what I'm trying to ask.
No, no. I mean, I guess I could try to see if I could play offline and see what happens there, but
You can't.
yeah, because it's probably so connected to the internet because of the whole battle pass, and yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's Marvel Snap. I am having a great time playing it, and for what I've played so far, it really hasn't pushed me to want to spend money. It hasn't been like, "Hey, buy this thing because it's gonna help you play the game." Like it's been pretty good so far. Maybe by next week it's like, "Oh, actually, it changed. It's really, really predatory." Like, "Oh no," but as it is right now, it's been good.
First
Um,
hit is free, brother.
say what?
First hit is free, brother.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So the last thing I wanted to say is to give a shout out to GBO2 having their first tournament. So it's the Gundam Game Tournament Meister. They streamed it on the Gundam channel, and this was kind of a big thing, but kind of sucks because obviously, it was completely in Japanese. There was no captions. So I was just like, I'm just watching this, like, damn, what are they saying? Like, I would like, and I get it because they're, the size of the studio and stuff. It's like they probably didn't have the money to do the translation and stuff. But yeah, yeah, I'm just happy to see that they're running their own tournaments and like they're
Mm.
using the spectator mode that they had released a few months ago. Actually, probably like 6 months ago. So it's like, okay, they were obviously building to something, and this is the thing that they're building to. So, and this is in line with the reports about them wanting to go in the quote unquote esport direction. So yeah, so that's just cool to see. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me. And I think that is it for the podcast.
Mhm.
We hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as you enjoyed making it. Don't forget to rate and review us on your favorite podcasting app. I feel like I need to flesh that out a little bit more. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to your favorite YouTube channel, which is our channel in case you were confused. Again, if you are listening, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or the podcast service you're using. We'll greatly appreciate that. Until next time, we'll be talking about more games, probably more Call of Duty, probably more other things that you will definitely want to listen to. So make sure you check that out. Yeah, I think that's it. Be safe, have a great day, enjoy your water. Make sure you drink a lot of it, stay hydrated. That's important. Wash your hands and play games. Yes. See you later. Okay, that's it. We did it.
Let me
Stop
go
that.
finish this campaign.